I want to talk to you a little bit about Mark chapter 5 and the story about Jesus and the demon-possessed man. Let's go over a few of the scriptures first. They went across the lake to the region of the Gadarenes. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an impure spirit came from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain. For he had often been chained hand and foot, but he tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day among the tombs and in the hills he would cry out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front of him. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, don't torture me." For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." Then Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he replied, "for we are many." And he begged Jesus again and again not to send them out of the area. A large herd of pigs was feeding on the nearby hillside. The demons begged Jesus, "Send us among the pigs, allow us to go into them." He gave them permission, and the impure spirits came out and went into the pigs. The herd, about 2,000 in number, rushed down the steep bank and in the lake and were drowned. Those tending the pigs ran off and reported this in the town and countryside, and the people went out to see what had happened. When they came to Jesus, they saw the man who had been possessed by the legion of demons sitting there and dressed in his right mind, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told the people what had happened to the demon-possessed man and told about the pigs as well. Then the people began to plead with Jesus to leave the region. A lot of ministers have told this story, but they miss it. They miss what's really going on here. First, this is a battle between two kingdoms. One is the kingdom of God and the power of Christ to establish his kingdom on this earth, and the kingdom that is controlled by the devil and by those who worship false gods. For one thing, Jews don't eat pig. They don't eat swine. They don't deal with pigs. They don't raise pigs. So Jesus is in an area that is Gentile. A lot of ministers, for whatever reason, they don't seem to get this. Jesus has traveled about, and now he's dealing with Gentiles in a Gentile area or a Gentile town. And this area who would worship false gods, gods foreign to the Jewish people, gods that are false. And this man who has become demon-possessed falls down in front of Jesus and begs Jesus not to torture him. So even this demon-possessed man, the demon that is within him, recognizes the authority of Christ. Get what's really taking place here. This is a battlefield. These demons, these Gentile gods who have possessed this man, who have taken control of his life and are tormenting him, are now kneeling down before the one true Son of God. And they are pleading with the one true power, the one true God, not to torture them. And to please, if you're going to cast us out into the pigs. But before we get to that point, they want to know, why is Jesus even there? Because it's not really their time for judgment. Even the demons know that they're going to be judged. Don't torture us, which what they're talking about is judgment. It's not our time yet to be judged. Jesus, please just leave us alone. Let us have these Gentile men in this Gentile area. Let these people continue to worship false gods and to believe in false gods. But Jesus casts them out, and he gives them permission to go into the swine. And the swine, even the swine don't want these spirits, and they throw themselves off the hillside and they perish. This is a battle between the kingdom of God, because you have to remember Jesus said, not even the gates of Hades will prevail against the kingdom of God. Jesus is establishing his authority, his kingdom back upon this earth after the fall of Adam and Eve. Why so many pastors and ministers miss this key moment? He's not talking to the Jewish people here. He's sending a message to the false gods of the Gentiles, to these demonic spirits that the Gentiles are worshiping, that they're bowing down to, that have taken control of this man's life and have ruined it, because all demons have one goal, that is the destruction of all humans upon the face of this earth. Because we have to remember, demons came from the fallen angels who were angry at God for even making people. They are jealous, they are angry, and they seek our destruction, and they seek to ruin God's purpose and God's plan for us upon this planet. I hope that you see it. I hope that this helps. So God sent Christ. He has gone to an area inhabited by Gentiles. He is taking authority over their gods, over these spirits, and they recognize him. They bow down to him. They know he has absolute authority, and it's over. The gates of Hades have fallen. Jesus has come. He is now king. Why did the demons call themselves Legion? You have to put it in context of the time period. The most powerful military force on the planet at that time, which had established the world's largest empire that would last for hundreds of years. Its military system was based upon the legion. These legions had conquered vast areas of territory and sustained it by military force. And that is why I believe that when Jesus said, "What is your name?" Of course, the demon lied, and it used a worldly term. It used a military term. It said legion because it was trying to appear strong when in effect it was weak. The demon giving the name legion also denotes back to Rome and the Roman emperor. Since the death of Julius Caesar and the civil war that followed the death of Caesar, and the peace that Augustus Caesar brought about to Rome, Augustus became known as the Son of God. The Romans worshipped him as a god. So understand why the demon called himself Legion. These are Gentile people, worshipers of divine Emperor Augustus Caesar, who started it. And then we had Augustus, then Tiberius, and Caligula. This was a Roman system of worship. They worshiped the emperors as gods. So make no mistake, this is spiritual warfare. That's why the Bible states that our battle is against principalities and powers in high places. Understand what Jesus was doing, why it happened, and that this was a spiritual battle. There is only one king, that is Jesus. He has established his authority now over this Gentile area, and the people who live there, whose livelihood from raising this herd of swine, they're now upset because these pigs have now perished. They don't understand what's going on. They see Jesus as a troublemaker. He has destroyed their flock. They look at this man who was possessed by demons. He's suddenly calm, he's suddenly peaceful, he's suddenly healed, and they don't like it. They want Jesus gone. Just like the Jewish temple priest, the people of that area reject what Jesus brings. They reject the peace of Christ. They reject his love. They reject his authority. But take note, the demons didn't. The demons knew who he was. They recognized him. They could not reject him. Only God's human children, his creation, failed once more to see their own creator. So it is my prayer that you will recognize Jesus in your heart and in your life, and you will seek him out. There are so many open doors to Christ. If you just take one step and move forward, Christ will meet you halfway. His yoke is light. It's the world that drags us down with so many false gods, and we are in a spiritual battle each day against these demons, these unclean spirits, these false gods that they look good, they sound good, they are the shining ones, but they are liars, and their path is death and destruction. But the path to peace and redemption and healing always leads to Jesus.